Hello, my name is Tara, and I'm just doing a little video. Hopefully, people will be able to relate to me and what I'm going through. My son is called Tristan, and he's been recently diagnosed with autism. And it's been quite hard. To deal with it and accept it. It's getting easier with time. I guess deep down, I always knew there was something wrong with him, but I didn't really want to believe that there was. When he was a year and a half, I realized there definitely was something really wrong with him. He never responded to his name. It was only when I was watching videos of my little girl at that age, and when I seen her babbling away and talking, trying to speak, I realized, oh my goodness, Tristan isn't doing that. Tristan actually has never tried to talk, or he's never babbled. And so I took him to see a health visitor, and they thought it was his hearing. So they gave him a hearing test, and he failed it. So I was initially told that the chances are that he might be deaf. He actually had two different hearing tests. The second one was at the hospital, the Children's Hospital here in Belfast, and I was actually told from the test that my son was partially deaf, that it was positive that he was partially deaf. So he had to go have a operation to have vents in his ears and to check, use a machine to check exactly how bad his hearing would be, and maybe to fit him with a hearing aid. After he had the operation, the doctor said actually his hearing was perfectly fine. It was excellent. So right then I knew it wasn't a physical reason as to why he wasn't responding to his name or speaking. And then once he reached the age of 2, everything sort of seemed to get worse. Temper tantrums, sensitive to noises, being around other people, really, really hard to deal with. And the lack of communication meant that he was screaming and crying almost all day. And obviously that's, as a mom, that was very hard for me to deal with, and I struggled with it a lot, and had a hard time getting him to be diagnosed, because everybody I brought him to basically said, oh sure, he's only a baby, he's too young. But I knew deep down there was definitely something wrong with him. And then in October of last year, he went to Child Development Clinic, and they did a assessment on him, and they basically said, well, we feel that he has autism, and he's about a year behind his development. Low muscle tone, poor fine motor skills, gross motor skills, really bad eye contact. So it's, it confirmed my worst fears. And although I knew there was something wrong with him, being told that by a doctor and being told exactly how bad he was a bit overwhelming for me. I had a hard time dealing with it, and he's my little guy, and life is hard enough as it is without anything extra going on. And it was quite hard, and I just sort of focused on the future that he might have, fearing the worst. What if he never speaks? What happens if I die? Who's going to take care of him? It was quite hard, and I'm sure I'm not the only, parent who's had these fears, these concerns. Will he have a normal life? Will he be able to date, go to school, have a job, be able to live without me? I went through a complete and utter downer about it. But he's been getting a lot of help, speech therapy, occupational therapy, behavioral therapy, And he's really come a long way. He's going to be 3 years old in 2 weeks, March 16th. So he's definitely doing, so much better. He's starting to talk a bit more. I've been putting loads and loads of videos on of him, just so other people can look and see, if they have concerns about their child. That's what I did. I went on YouTube and I seen all these videos of people who posted about their children, and when I seen that child has autism and he's hand flapping, tiptoeing, I knew it helped me. And I seen all these videos of parents expressing their concerns, and it helped me. So hopefully someone will watch this and think, oh my god, I went through that. I suffered when I found out my child had autism, and it was hard. It's a hard thing to deal with, and you don't want your child to have anything wrong with them. You just absolutely, you're the worst, and that's what I did. And I'm finding ways of dealing with it better. And I guess it's not so much him and his problem, it's that I just fear, am I going to be okay? Like, am I going to be a good enough mother for him, to be strong enough for him, strong enough to help him? Because you have to be everything, for your child, especially if they have something wrong with them. So I guess it's more, I was worried about myself than really, about him, also about him, but I was worried that I mightn't be able to handle it. And, it's, some days are easier than others. We get days where I just don't know what's wrong with him. He'll just take a meltdown, and I just have to leave him, and I have no idea what's going on, what happened. Did a light flash? Did he hear a strange noise? He doesn't like to go out shopping. This is a big one, and I don't know if other autistic moms, I don't know how they handle it, so maybe if you watch this and you can give me tips or something. He doesn't like to go out shopping, and it's very hard. I mostly have to have him watched, stay here at the house. And I would love to take him out more, but he throws fits, and he doesn't like people looking at him or being around him. And he knows as soon as I get him dressed and get his shoes on, he knows he's going out, and he'll throw a massive fit, and it's very difficult. And I want to be able to take him out and, socialize him, and I do try, but it's hard, and it upsets him, and he'll be off for a few days where he refuses to speak. And that one is a big one. That one's still a hard one that I have a hard time dealing with. I'm not really sure what to do, because it could be anything. Sometimes I don't drive, so I get private taxis everywhere, because he will not do public transportation. He will not go on a bus, and he will not sit in a private taxi. And sometimes, depending on the look of the car or the look of the seats in the car, he will go crazy and refuse to get in the car. It's really hard. And he still is in a pram. He's on a wait list to get a special needs pram, because he can walk, but he won't walk. He refuses to walk when he's out. He will just scream and throw fits, and I can't lift him. So in his pram he has now is getting too big, because he should be walking, because he's going to be 3 soon. So he's on the waiting list for that, and that'll be hard, because I've seen these prams, and when children are in it, they definitely look like there's something wrong with them. So, but it's just one of those things I'm going to have to just deal with, and he needs it. And when I have to take him out, like picking his sister up from school, he absolutely hates it. Everybody can hear him screaming, but I have to leave the house. There are times I have to bring him, and I can't get anyone to watch him, and it's hard. That's the big one that I struggle with. And at nighttime, because he doesn't sleep, I'm sure all moms who watch this are saying, that's my son or that's my daughter. He does not sleep at nighttime, and that's hard as well. Thank God for coffee. That's all I'm saying. It is quite hard. And he's still in diapers, because he's just learning how to speak. He's only become vocal this past 6 months. so I can't potty train him just yet. And it's, it's hard, because the older he's getting, the more noticeable, I think the more noticeable it is. It was before he was only a baby, but now because he's older, you can definitely notice that there is, something wrong with him, but I don't care because I love my little baby boy, and, he's just, him and his sister are the light of my life, and it's just, sometimes it's hard, and you just need a bit of help and just trying to understand it all. And I'm the type of person where I have to know everything about autism. I must know everything so I can try and figure things out and help him. My research is the only thing that really helps. I've tried everything. He's an iPod, headset, headphones. He won't use those. People told me buy him headphones to distract him from the noise, and it's hard. And I just thought maybe I'd put a video on. I have so many videos of Tristan playing with his sister, and I've made little videos, sort of like tributes to him. Like I must confess, those sort of helped me a lot with him, because I guess it was like my therapy, making these little videos of, showing how much I love him. He may have autism, but he's my absolute everything, and I love him no matter what, and I just want to be strong enough to help him through this crazy world, this mean world. I don't really know a lot of people who have autistic children, so it's hard because I can't really leave the house. He doesn't like going to different places, so I don't really see anybody. I mostly stay home with my 2 kids, but so that's it really. That's my first video for YouTube. We'll see how it looks, and so any advice or any tips or anything about autism and how you handle your autistic child, post them and share them with me, and no worries. Signing out.